This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your source for the latest Iowa ag news headlines right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, Mark Magnuson, and Andy Peterson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Mark.
Hello and welcome into Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Mark Magnuson. In today's show, I will have the closing markets with Cory Bratland of agmarket.net. But first, it is the latest edition of Between the Pods, as I'm joined by Aimee Bissell with the Iowa Soybean Association. You're watching Ag Matters PM.
It's time to go between the pods with the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network and the Iowa Soybean Association. For the next year, we will explore the ways Iowa-grown soybeans are making a difference at home and around the world. Now, here's your host of Between the Pods, Mark Magnuson.
Mark Magnuson for the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, and I'm joined today by Aimee Bissell for Between the Pods. We are here today at Farm Forward from the Iowa Soybean Association, being held at Hotel Fort Des Moines in downtown Des Moines. And Aimee is an at-large director. She is from Bedford. And Aimee, could you tell us your involvement with the Iowa Soybean Association, when you got involved, and kind of what you've been able to do with ISA so far?
Yeah, hi Mark, thanks for having me join you today. I started with the Iowa Soybean Association. I actually went to a meeting and checked a box that said, yes, I would like more information about that, and that's what started this whole thing. I now have been on the board. This is my second year, and I am the director at large, so I service all the soybean farmers for the state of Iowa.
So Aimee, it's always interesting for me, getting involved with Iowa Soybean Association. Did you know much about the organization before you joined, or has this been an experience where you, like you said, you wanted to learn more, and since then you found out everything there is to, kind of get you started for being involved with Iowa Soybean Association?
I can honestly say I knew nothing, absolutely nothing about the Soybean Association when we started, and I just had that thirst for knowledge that kept me coming back for more and more and more. Now, over a year on the board, and I still know just a snippet of everything that the farmers of Iowa touch.
I was going to say, if you're coming somewhere looking for knowledge, Iowa Soybean Association going to be helping you learn something every single day, I'm sure. So here today, we wanted to talk about the ISA Research Center for Farming Innovation. Of course, you can get involved with trials through the RCFI. Have you been able to do that on your farm? Have you done any trial work, and what did you think of it?
Yeah, so we have done, first of all, Research Center for Farming Innovation. If you want to hang out where the cool kids are, that's where you go. But yes, we have been doing these trials for 7 years. This will be going into our 8th year. We have done over 20 trials on our farm, and we'll have more going into this year. Some of the trials that we have done over the years have been working with Iowa Nitrogen Initiative or studying the nitrogen use efficiency on our farm. We have done soybean rate population studies. We have done fungicide studies. You name it, you can probably study it. And even if it's not one of the selected trials for that year, they will probably help you investigate it if you have an interest in it.
So going back to the similar question from earlier, when you got involved with these trials, what made you make that jump and want to get involved right away?
So what I loved about the way that the Iowa Soybean Association does it is when I look at the data on my farm, I really have, one, a tough time analyzing down to like a half a bushel difference on something, and two, as much as I try to not have a biased opinion on my farm, I'm always biased to my own data. I can reason out why something did the way it did or didn't perform the way I thought it was. And so they take that away from me and give me a nice 3-page report, and it's just simple cut and dry data.
So for you, Aimee, was this a difficult process to adopt, or was it something that you're able to get involved in and it was pretty smooth sailing for you?
I tell you what, it is so simple. First of all, go to iowasoybean.com or .org and get a hold of the agronomist in your area. They'll help walk you through everything. It takes a very minimal amount of your time. You give them some data, they upload it to the system, they print you back like a 3-page report. It is so simple.
And for you personally, do you ever stop and think about, yes, I'm doing this for my own benefit, obviously, to help out my farm and to learn something and to try and learn about this process. But at the end of the day, all of these results are also helping out your fellow Iowa soybean growers.
Yes, they are absolutely helping out farmers across the entire state, and I would probably say in other states as well. So if you have an interest in getting in any information on your farm. You may think it's benefiting you, but I can guarantee you it's probably benefiting your neighbor and the state.
So, Aimee, would you give the hard sell to someone then that's thinking about getting involved in a research trial? Would you say, hey, just jump in and go ahead and do it?
Hey, if I haven't sold you yet, what am I doing? Like, you should do this. Sign up today. Whether it's a fungicide that you want to look into, maybe decreasing your seeding rate, save you some money there so you can invest it somewhere else on your farm. Whether you want to look at the nitrogen on your farm, or there's many other trials that you can look into. I say go to iasoybeans.com and get involved today.
Aimee, is there still some trial opportunities that are available for farmers coming up here in the near future? Can they still get involved?
They are. So if you have something that you want to study, get a hold of them. Otherwise, some of the trials that they're looking into right now is nitrogen with the Iowa Nitrogen Initiative, seeding rate, fungicide and insecticide, manure sensor-based application, relay cropping, or long-term cover crops. Or if you have your own idea, I bet they'll listen to you too.
And then, Aimee, do you talk to any other soybean farmers that are doing similar things with the trials and kind of share any information? Do you ever say, hey, this is kind of neat that we're involved in this?
I do. We kind of toss ideas back and forth. They kind of maybe want to try it on their farm, or you just invite them to a meeting. Maybe they have a little bit of interest, come to a meeting, and let's just see where your interest level lies and how we can help you. Because every farmer has a question on their farm, and Iowa Soybean can help you answer that question.
She is Aimee Bissell, again, an at-large director with the Iowa Soybean Association. Aimee, is there anything else you'd like to let your fellow Iowa soybean growers know about when it comes to any of these trials that are being worked on, or how they could maybe get involved if they want to?
Iowa Soybean Association is farmer-focused and farmer-driven, so I can assure you they are doing good things with your checkoff dollars. Join today and get invested into your own farm.
Aimee, thanks so much for the time. Always appreciate it, and have a great rest of the farm forward.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you to Aimee Bissell for joining today's show as part of Between the Pods. It is time now for the closing markets, and I will be joined by Cory Bratland of agmarket.net. But first, a word from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soybean Checkoff.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
You're watching Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, and it is time now for closing markets, and I'm joined by Cory Bratland of agmarket.net. Cory, how did we trade in the grains today?
Hey, Mark, everything's doing good. Overall, grain markets under a little more pressure here today. We saw grains try to hold up here, show a little life. Corn being up a couple cents early on, but boy, here in the last half hour, 45 minutes a day, we kind of succumbed to the support at 454 in this May contract, falling through and pushing lower. So end of the day, down 5-6 cents on the corn and soybeans. We're up 4 or 5, maybe 6 cents most of the day. Ended up unchanged to down 1 to 2 cents on the day. So just had a tough day here, holding on any little strength here that we had early on in the day.
And Cory, it's been a pretty similar pattern here this week, kind of been range-bound trading. And we know that we're waiting, of course, for the big information day next Monday. But are there any other stories that we should be paying attention to this week?
You're exactly right. The markets have been very quiet, kind of range-bound. Traders are anxiously awaiting the planning's intention on Monday, also the quarterly grain stocks. Also April 2nd is going to be the day that we might be seeing some tariffs roll off out here from the U.S. Also, will there be any reciprocal tariffs back to onto the U.S.? So I think there's a little bit of money flow going to the sidelines on that side of things, and kind of coming out of commodities just because of that what-if scenario. Anytime we see that what-if scenario, the market doesn't know. The market gets nervous and likes to just pull their money back and head to the sidelines. So I think we're seeing a little bit of that, and kind of what was a little bit of a driver here on the corn and soybeans here late in the day.
On the other side of the ag marketplace, Cory, how did the livestock look in the trade for cattle and hogs?
Yeah, overall, cattle ended the day up, 50, 60 cents higher, so maybe 70 cents higher on the day. So we're kind of having a little tug of war here. We saw, the box beef was up real strong yesterday, although cash trade was a little bit weaker. So all in all, cattle are kind of in this, the bulls and the bears are kind of fighting back and forth here a little bit. Feeder cattle, end of the day, kind of overall mixed, but a little bit stronger on the back ends. Not big moves, but 80, 90 cents cents to $1 higher. Lean hogs, the front few months were actually up as well here. So, and the lean hogs, kind of interesting considering when you look at the price of beef, how cheap they are in relative. So anxious to see if the retail market can continue to sell this beef at these highest prices that we've seen in the stores since, I believe it was been 2023.
And to your last point, Cory, has that shown itself in the grocery store or at the restaurant? Have people moved away from beef at all to any of those other protein sources?
They have to an extent. It's going to be real interesting this last move up. If the grocery store starts to see it pull back, the restaurant business I think has seen it pull back to an extent because the restaurant you got to add in the labor and whatnot. The facility as well versus grocery store just kind of selling it more on the wholesale market. So, but I think this recent run up, if the consumer doesn't back away, I think that bodes very well for beef. So time will tell here the next 4 to 6 weeks if we can move this beef at this high price.
Cory, what's the best way for our viewers to get in touch for more marketing information?
You bet. Best way to get in touch with us, head on over to our website, which is www.agmarket.net.
Well, thanks so much for the time here today. Always appreciate it, and we'll speak again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you to Cory Bratland of agmarket.net for joining today's show. Let's take a look at how the markets closed today. We can find market information anytime under the Markets tab of our website at iowaagnet.com.
May corn closes down 6.5 at 4.51 1/4. May soybeans down 3/4 cent at 10.01 even. May soybean meal down $1.50 at 293.60. May soybean oil up 34 cents at 42.64. Chicago wheat down 8 cents at 5.35 1/4. Minneapolis wheat down 3 1/4 at 5.85 1/4. Kansas City hard red wheat down 4 1/4 at 5.65 even. On the Merc, April live cattle up 70 cents at 207.07. April feeder cattle up $1.02 at 285.87. April lean hogs up 90 cents at 87.55. April pork cutout up 97 cents at 98.07. Class 3 milk down 6 cents at 17.12.
That wraps up closing markets for today and brings us to the end of today's show. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. You can also follow us on social media at Facebook, X, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Don't forget as well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can also listen to our morning, midday, and closing market podcast wherever you find your favorite podcast at Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. And you will also find the daily episodes of our Iowa Ag Matters podcast. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Mark Magnuson. For Riley Smith, Dustin Huffman, and Andy Peterson, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.